Welcome to the podcast and another Professor Bundus masterpiece.
Bundus, I like this one.
Yeah, this one I'm working on right now. It's got a little bit of like that 80s Top Gun Berlin, meets a little Post Malone, meets some Duran Duran. I'm having fun with this one.
Does it have a name yet?
It's called Real.
Real.
Real, yeah.
And this is where somebody would start like singing or...
This is where the vocal would come in, yes.
You know you are real, despite what people say.
Well, there you go.
Damn, I gotta get him in the booth.
Yeah. Start recording.
I honestly think that I could probably write a song.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, someone gave me music. I would have to I'd have to have like lots of effects on a different microphone or something because I don't have a singing voice.
Yeah.
You know you're real, despite what people say.
That's pretty good. I'm impressed.
People around you, they don't care what you say.
They don't care what you say.
Yeah, you know. Bundus is a magical man.
Magic man. Yeah, Bundus.
You know, it's kind of that easy. Like,
Get us in the studio, man.
Yeah, we should jam on something and figure it out. Yeah. You know, we've spent some time on our podcast talking about fails when you're hooking up, like things just going wrong. I certainly told my story about how my stomach was, there's an 80% chance that I'm going to get stomach pains.
80%?
Well, when I was certainly new to hooking up with women, I don't know what it'd be like now. I've been with the same woman a long time. I haven't been with someone new. You told your story of something, kind of similar.
I actually have another awkward hookup story. I have another one.
Oh my God.
I have
Just
another
one?
Yeah, right? No, I'm sure I have more. But you've heard this story before.
Okay, that's all right.
I don't know if I have.
You may have heard it too, Bundus. The mole story. Do you guys remember the mole?
I love the mole story. It's worth telling again.
Do you know it, Bundus?
I don't know. I don't think I do.
Okay.
So it's the first time for me.
Okay, so hooking up with this guy back at my place. It's dark in the room, so I'll give him that. And we had been drinking before at the bar, so I'll give him that too. Shirt comes off, bra comes off. Things are getting hot and heavy, right? And I believe at a certain point I realize, oh my God, he thinks he is stimulating my nipples, but he's actually sucking on a mole. Now it is a large mole that was very nipple-like. And also, I'm an A cup, so I can see how it might get confusing.
Was he drunk?
And I was on my back too, so.
How would you sucking on a nipple on your back?
No, I was on my back.
Laura's on her back. He's working on her mole.
He's working on my mole. And guys, if you can only imagine, like, how do I get him out of that situation? Like, what do I do? When I realized it, I'm like, oh my God. He thinks he's stimulating a nipple. So I was kind of like, and this is where the mole is. So he's
It's
in
like
the,
right. It's yeah.
He must have thought my breast was under my armpit.
Like it drooped over.
Oh my God.
There's some stories that it doesn't matter how many times you've heard them, they bring you joy every time. And I've probably heard that story 3 times.
Yeah.
And I love it every single time.
Yeah.
Every single time.
It's terrible.
And did you ever tell him? Like,
no.
So it was never discussed like, you were working on my mole, you dummy.
No. I never told him. No, I just found a way to like get his focus elsewhere. But I also...
Did that turn you on, by the way?
No, I felt nothing. There is no nerve endings in a mole.
Okay.
But I did have the mole removed after. I'm like, that's it.
Was it because of that, or was it
Yes.
a concern of it being cancerous one day?
No. It was always in my bra line, and it also bothered me because it was like,
A third nipple.
a third nipple-ish. And
Isn't that what a third nipple is?
It's
Isn't it just a mole beside your regular nipple?
it's a mole that's in line either horizontally, in this case, or vertically with a nipple. So that's it. And it's a larger mole that's raised normally. So that I went and saw my family doctor. I'm like, what's going on with this mole?
Did you tell him the story?
No, he just
I gotta
said
get rid of this. It's been too embarrassing for me.
he just said that's a third nipple actually. And then I'm like, that's it. Book me in with a specialist. It's gone.
Yeah.
And it's gone. Thank God. It's just a scar now.
That's so funny.
The doctor who removed it asked if I wanted to see it. I'm like, no.
Oh, really? I totally want to see that stuff. I had something cut out of my eye. When I went under the knife at surgery.
Oh, yes.
It was like it wasn't a cyst, but it was a cyst-like thing that was growing underneath my
Your
eyebrow.
eyebrow.
And
We
it was a
called
little
it-
bit of a bump.
We called it his horn.
Yeah. But I totally wanted to see it. And if they didn't have to do like a full, it's not a biopsy because the biopsy's taking the tumor out, but like they had it checked.
They had it checked.
Screened,
okay.
I guess.
Yeah.
They wanted to screen it for any like irregularities or something. But I would have totally taken it in the little
In the jar?
in the little jar of fluid or whatever they
What
drop
would you
it
have
in.
done with it?
I don't know. I would have kept it just for at least a bit.
For funsies? I wonder if doctors ever remove something from someone's body and they're like, they see other doctors like, hey, come look at this. Check
Probably.
this out. Look at this third nipple I just removed.
Yeah.
It's the biggest one I've ever seen.
Well, you
know?
don't think at a med school when they have cadavers that they don't like have a little fun from time to time? They must.
I think they're very respectful.
Someone's waving at you over here, Maura.
No way.
Sure.
No way.
Oh, you don't think?
I think they're very respectful. My brother has worked on a cadaver before, and they have the utmost respect.
Dr. Greer said.
Yes, for people who donate their body to science, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's no joking around.
You don't think there's a scenario in which you're in an operating room and you're knocked out with like propofol or whatever it is they give you, and they're like, "Hello," with the hand?
I'd be okay with that because that's
Yeah.
kind of funny. Yeah.
You think they move your mouth and be like, so I do that to my kids when they were young, when they'd fall asleep in the car. I'd move their mouth open and closed and film them and be like, hello, I am sleeping in my car,
Yeah.
That
I
kind of
think it's
thing.
different when the patient is alive. You
Yeah.
can have fun with the patient. When the patient's dead, is
See, I would think it would be the
disrespectful.
opposite personally, but all right, well, let's get into it. You told your story. It's a nice setup for whether we call this hookup screw-ups or hookup fails. We'll establish if we can do this as a regular feature, but I think it'd be fun to do on our podcast regularly. We go to Gustavo, who is a listener of the show and the podcast, and was kind enough to come on with us. We appreciate it. What's your story, Gustavo?
So I met this girl online, and we met up at a bar. It was going great. We're having drinks, eating, and then it was a rainy day. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Let's go home. I was willing to call it a day, but she was like, hey, do you want to maybe come over? And I was like, okay, things are going great. We get on the subway. It was going to be like maybe a 15-minute commute. So I'm like, I can hold it. As soon
Hold
as I get
what?
to the subway, well, I really needed to go to the bathroom.
Oh.
Okay.
Are we talking to number 1 year, or are we talking to number 2?
Number one. Yeah.
Okay.
number
Okay,
one.
all right, okay.
And I was like, maybe I can hold it, whatever, get to the subway. And then mid-tunnel, it just stops. And then there's like services on the tracks going on. And I'm like, oh, God, no. And I'm like talking to her. We're standing, and I'm just like wiggling, kind of doing the little dance.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's so funny. I even said this to Maura the other day. I made a rule with myself where if I'm leaving, especially work, and about to get on my bike to bike home or something, I never leave if I kind of have to go to the bathroom now and think I can make it, because you never know when the elevator's going to get stuck or when something's going to go wrong. And here you are now on a subway having to pee, and it stops. And you're with someone new, and you think that things are going well enough that there's a chance that, you're going to have a good night.
It's already going to be embarrassing for you to get back to her place and you to have to use the bathroom immediately.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I learned from that mistake. So anyways, luckily it was raining, so the floors were a little wet already. And I was like, oh God, I can't hold it. I literally put my hand in my pocket, like pinching it, make sure nothing comes out. It was like getting to that point already.
You literally had to physically stop yourself from peeing your pants with your hand?
Oh yeah, it was
my
that
God.
bad.
I've never been in that
You
situation
can
before.
pinch it and it'll stop?
I feel like it turns into like, you ever
thought-
put a balloon on a faucet and then turn the faucet on? Does your penis grow into a big ball at that point?
I mean, I thought that was going to work, but it didn't. Literally, no, it started going, and I'm like, you know what? It's all good. And I just looked down, and there was like this trail coming down my pants. It was kind of clear, even though the floor was wet. And I'm like making sure she kept eye contact, and I was like, oh yeah, I don't know, tell me about your day, what you do, whatever.
So you're doing a stealth pee on the subway.
Oh yeah, I was doing something. But then I kept looking at the urine go down the train. I was like, this is too obvious. I was like, hey, you know what? I really, really have to go. I'm sorry, I'll call you back. And then like I immediately got off at like the first station that it opened.
Oh no.
And then when I looked back at her, I can see the like disappointment and like the disgust in her face. I'm like, oh, you noticed.
Oh.
What kind of pants were you wearing?
Luckily, black.
Well, I mean, she maybe didn't notice.
There's a smell that comes with urine, though, sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we were drinking, eating, like yeah.
Was it a packed subway train?
Slightly, not too much.
Like busy enough you were standing,
Exactly, busy enough that I was standing, but like not like.
but
that
not
much that I
bumping
could
into
kinda hide away.
people with every little shift of the subway car.
Oh my God.
yeah.
Like, you know what's crazy is that you were trying to do it covertly. Like, that to me, you know, like,
Yeah.
you thought there was a chance you were going to get away with it. And,
Yeah, like I don't even know where it would have gone from there. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, like you can't pee in your pants and then go hook up with her.
exactly.
Well, why didn't you
So
just
I
say
lit-
to her though, like I really gotta
Turn it
piss,
into
you
a
know?
bit or
yeah,
something.
and then be like, I'm gonna jump out and piss on the subway tracks, like whatever, and make a joke out of the whole thing. Like, why did you hide it?
I don't know. It was my first time meeting her, so I was kind of nervous and.
And they have bathrooms at the subway stations, don't they?
I don't think so.
No, they
Not in
must.
all of them.
Some of them, definitely, you would have to have
He's
them.
not gonna make it, guys. There's no way in hell
No,
he's gonna
but
make it.
before he got on the car. But, you know, the subway, how long was it stopped for?
Oh, it felt like at least 20 minutes.
Oh,
yeah.
That screwed you. That screwed you right over.
And every time you look down at the wet water on like the subway floor, and it's with anything, if you hear like a running tap or the moment you get closer to a toilet, it seems that your pee just kind of starts falling out. Like you
That's
can't
a
hold
thing.
it. Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
thing. What, I
I
forget
feel
what
like
the
that
syndrome
also,
is.
like, made it worse for me because like I was walking, it was like it was cold, it was wet, I was hearing the rain.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
just multiplied it all.
Was there a part of you after you had peed that thought, okay, if
worth
there
it.
was some way, if there's some way that I can still go home with her and like spill something on my pants and then put them in the wash?
Look, I've done that when I've been in a bathroom where I've accidentally like peed a bit after I've peed. Like when you put your pants up, Bundes is probably and it usually happens when you're wearing shorts. You know, like you have khaki shorts on or something.
Oh, yeah.
And you didn't shake long enough.
Yeah.
And
there's
you
always that
end
leak
up with
after.
like a little pee spot or something. My move is I go to the sink because I wash my hands anyway, and then I purposely spill like extra water.
Yeah.
And then it makes it look like, oh, I just had a mishap with the water
The
at the
tap.
sink.
You idiot.
Yeah, you dummy.
But you know, like I wouldn't fall for that. And most guys, if they see that, they're like, oh, he peed on himself.
Yeah, but you know, most women wouldn't know that. I probably just gave up some trade secret amongst men.
Yeah.
But that kind of thing.
Sure.
That's what you're talking about, Maura, is that you thought maybe he thought he'd be able to do some move where he could hide the pee.
Well, you know, I have a friend who has a similar story who went back to a girl's res room, hooked up with her, and then slept pee. Like, you know how you can wake up and you think you're peeing in a toilet, but you're actually peeing on something else?
Oh, yeah,
Tucker's
yeah.
done that. So he was peeing on her computer keyboard. You know what he did that was brilliant? She was still sleeping. He went and got a pint of water. Well, he woke her up and said, I need a glass of water. She's like, just go get it in the kitchen. He went and got the water and then staged a trip and spilt water all over her keyboard. And she's like, just forget about it. We'll worry about it in the morning.
Yeah, just a keyboard, right?
So if there was some way you could have spilt something on you on the subway, bumped into somebody who was holding a pop. Anyways, that's getting too elaborate, I guess.
That would have been great, but I feel like hiding the smell would be difficult.
Yeah, because then all of a sudden you start smelling like a guy who's peed his pants.
Yeah, and that's alcohol.
At that point, I literally just got off the subway and like walked home for like 20 minutes, like soaking in rain and urine.
That is a new version of the walk of shame.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a lot of shame.
Like,
right
do you
there.
have her numbers or anything? Like, can you reach out to her after, or do you just at that point?
I honestly didn't hear back from her, and I didn't even bother to reach out because I don't even know how to have that conversation. Because in my perspective, I thought she noticed.
Yeah. Did she know that you had to go really badly, or were you hiding that as well?
I was kind of doing the obvious dance that and the little hops that I had to go. So.
Yeah, because I could kind of think of that as being an endearing moment when you're meeting someone new, where it's almost like, oh my God, I have to go so bad. What am I going to do? And then you turn it into like I might, like you work together as a team on it.
No.
And be like, you go over in the other end of the subway car and cause a disturbance, and put on just start acting strange enough that people are all going to turn and look at you, and then I'll pee in the corner here, pull it out so I don't have to pee my pants.
I just met you. There's no way in hell I'm causing a disturbance so you can pee in the corner of a subway car.
Yeah, but if you say, oh my God, the subway stopped, I have to pee so bad. I didn't tell you, but I have to pee so bad. I don't know if I'm going to make it. And then then you go make a scene over there. Start yelling to yourself. You see that often enough anyway. And then you go to the other end and you just in the corner, no one's looking. You pee, boom, you finish. You laugh about it as you get out. I can't believe that worked. Thank you so much. And then you hook up and have the best night. And before you know it, you're married.
I don't think so.
No, but like I said yesterday, it's I'm already getting married. Different girl. So
yeah,
I'm all good.
That's a good one.
That's a good fail. You didn't even make it to her house.
No,
yeah.
no. Complete fail.
Yeah.
Gustavo, thank you for sharing that story with us.
No problem.
Never, ever, ever leave where you are if you're having to travel anywhere, if you have to pee a little bit. If you think, oh, I can just get home, it'll be fine. It's never worth it.
It's never worth it. No.
For me, I end up on my bike and I start hitting bumps. And then I'm like, oh my God, this was a mistake. Yeah. Hey, Gustavo, great to have you on the podcast,
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks for having me, guys. Yeah.
Man, that story is so great.
I used to drink green tea all the time, and I saw in the store when I needed to refill it that there was a dieter's green tea option, and I was like, oh, I'm on a diet.
Yeah. Less calories, whatever.
Perfect. So I took the dieter's green tea, and I always have a thing of hot water. This is just hot water on my desk, and I just had the bag steeping for hours while I was at work. I mean, probably 5-6 hours that thing was steeping.
Hey, finish it. You add more hot water to it.
Keep it going. And then I went down to the beaches. It was probably about a 40-minute ride on the streetcar and the TTC on the subway. And I walked by a Vespa store and went in and thought I was interested in Vespas at the time and got the whole sales pitch from a guy. I was literally sitting on the back of a Vespa with the guy giving me the whole walk around when all of a sudden I felt my face go white and I got chills and I became sweaty, clammy.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, I have to find a washroom. So I found a way to get off the Vespa and I'm still sitting feeling this pressure in my abdomen.
It's happening quick.
It's happening fast.
Yeah.
So there across the street was an Il Fornello. So I ran into the Il Fornello.
Great, fine family establishment for pasta, pizza, and other Italian cuisine.
The last thing I wanted to do was eat something, but I just needed a bathroom. So I'm like, don't worry, I'm going to order something. I went into the washroom, and then I realized, what the hell what did I eat? What did I do?
Yeah.
I looked up the green tea. It's a laxative. Yeah. It was a freaking laxative. Box recommends you steep the bag for 2 to 3 minutes. I had it steeped for hours. So I get out of the bathroom when I feel like I'm okay. I sit down and order something because I feel like I have to. I order a salad, which is stupid. Why would I have more roughage?
Yeah. Yeah, you should ask for rice or some old cheddar.
Block of cheese.
Block of cheese. I get on the streetcar.
Wait, do you eat it there? Like, why did you take it to go?
No,
or
because I kind of felt like I had solved the issue, and I thought, good to stay close to a bathroom for a little while in case there's more of an issue.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, I'm okay to get on the streetcar and go home. And keep in mind, it's like a 40-minute ride. I lived up at Yonge and Eglinton at the time. It was not okay, like at around Davisville. So I'm almost there, but not quite. And the subway stopped in the tunnel, and I was dying. I was like, I'm not going to make it. I got off the subway, and it was like probably 2 or 3 blocks away from my place when I decided that I was going to have to throw my jeans in the garbage.
Yeah.
That's her way of saying she didn't make it.
Yeah, it happens to the best of us.
It can happen to anyone. You hope it doesn't. But if you've been there, it's an embarrassing story, but it's a very real story that could happen to anybody who takes public transportation.
And a laxative the same time.
But look, I have, fairly manageable irritable bowel syndrome.
Thank you.
But there was a period in time of my life where it wasn't as manageable, and I didn't know what the triggers were.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'd be out. Like I was in Montreal. I was partying in St. Anne de Bellevue one night. We're at this bar. It's early on. It's Saint Jean Baptiste, which is like their Canada Day. They have like a Quebec national holiday.
Yeah.
And I start, the contractions start. And, it's just like a pregnant woman. You know that like once you start timing them, they're coming. I'm like, I'm not going to make it through the night. I don't want to have to deal with this tonight. I'm going home.
Okay.
But I lived like 25-minute drive away.
Oh, no.
But I know my body well enough. I'm going to make it.
Okay.
I get in my car. Because it's Saint Jean Baptiste and this national holiday, they have all these roads closed because I guess there was going to be some sort of like parade, or there had been a parade. I'm stuck in gridlock traffic. Now, I finally get out of this small little like neighborhood in Montreal, and I get on the highway and I start driving, and then I realize I'm not going to make it. There's no way I'm going to make it. And then I'm like, no, I got to make it. I pull over onto the shoulder for a half a second. I'm like, no. Like, luckily the highway's not super busy. I get back on the highway, and then I'm like, nope. Pull back off, run out of the car, into the ditch of the highway. Do my thing. Luckily, it wasn't between the two directions.
Was it night?
It was nighttime.
Thank God.
And I was able to just sort of like be in the dark, do my thing. I don't want to get into all the details.
You don't need to.
I was wearing socks at the beginning of the night. I came home. I wasn't wearing socks anymore.
Smart man right there.
But had I been on a bus or a subway, I would have crapped my pants.
Yeah.
No question. Luckily, I was in control of the vehicle I was in, and I could pull over and manage this situation to a certain degree.
Yeah.
I have 2 fallen victims.
You have? Bundes has too?
We might not also. There's going to be 2 regular segments on the show.
I'm shocked.
It's the one where you tell us about your hookup fails, and then we have the shit your pants segment that we may have to do as a regular feature.
This is great because it's normalizing this stuff.
Yeah.
And it happens to everyone.
And I can't wait to hear Bundes's.
Bundes?
So you can make fun of me.
No, so we can just all
laugh about it. No, but
laugh
it is funny.
About it and relate to it.
Okay, so I was dating this girl at the time, and she had these pills, these like diet loss pills, and I was in the gym really hard, and I was taking all these different supplements, trying to work out. And I was over at her place, and I saw these pills, and I asked her, I'm like, what do these do? And she's like, you don't want to take them. I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. What do they do, right? She's like, they make you go to the bathroom, right? But they'll help you lose weight. I'm like, okay, sounds good to me. I'm trying to cut up, right?
Yeah.
So she didn't want them. I said, I'll take them, no problem, girl.
How many did you take, Bundes?
So the next day, I popped 2 a.m. and head to work.
And is that the recommended dosage?
No, it's like 1.
Okay. And probably like half of one your first time taking it. You probably have to get into a rhythm, right?
Yeah,
like Metamucil, which I take, you don't start with 3 doses a day. You start at like 1 dose and you work your way up.
Yeah. Baby steps.
Yeah. So I take 2 in the morning. And then I take another 2 about midday around noon.
Uh-oh.
And I have no idea what these are going to do. I just think they're like going to help you burn fat faster, right?
Sure.
Like another one of those diet pills. But that's not what it did. Anyway, I go to the washroom to, take a number 1, standing at the urinal, start doing my thing, just,
Relaxing your bladder.
yeah, relaxing, just looking around. And then the next thing I feel is like this.
Okay, I don't even think you need to say it now.
What? No, I need to know what he felt.
I just felt this like warm sensation running down the backside of my leg, and I'm like, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense right now, right?
No.
Like involuntarily,
Yeah, like
you're leaking. Yeah.
like there was no feeling in my control. It just started coming out, and then I looked down and I was like, oh my god, I'm at work. What do I do right now?
How much? I mean, it's like a full release.
It was like. What these pills did was it turned it into water, more or less.
Yeah, anal leakage is what the term is, I think, referred to.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Tucker.
No, but you see it as a complication from a number of medications. If you read through different things, anal leakage comes up, and certainly that's what was going on.
There was a
here.
bag of chips that were giving people anal leakage. There was like a thing may cause anal leakage,
and because of like the oils or something they used in it, right?
Okay, so you're at the urinal and you realize what's happening.
Yeah.
What next?
Well, underwear in the garbage.
Yeah,
Problem is, I can't throw my jeans out
yeah.
because I'm at work. I still got things to do.
You still got things to do.
And is this the main floor bathroom?
This is the main floor.
Okay,
bathroom.
yeah. So it's pretty busy.
Busy, yeah.
Shared by TV studios, all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
So it's like, I got paper towels and I got water and I'm like rubbing it down, trying to like clean the mess up, hide the smell.
On your
wait,
jeans? You got your jeans off?
Yeah, I had to like take them off in a stall and like.
Oh, in a stall.
Oh,
so
so you
you're
bring
using
some
the
towels.
toilet water with the whatever.
No, like I waited till the coast was clear, hobbled on out, got
Yeah.
some paper towel with soap and water. It was awful,
This
guys.
is a horrible
It's awful.
nightmare.
It's
It's a
awful.
nightmare.
Yeah.
But now you got this like huge water stain all along the back of your ass. It's
better. It's better.
Better for
Yeah.
sure. And then I had to like kind of like get back to my studio, and I just kept my ass like poked towards the wall, like wherever I had to go.
Yeah.
Hid in my studio, finished what I had to do, and booked it right back home. And those jeans were never worn again.
Yeah. It's so funny that people should almost have an emergency pair of everything at work.
My 4-year-old, she has an emergency change of
Yeah.
clothing. Yeah, underwear, socks, the whole shebang.
Right? Because, when we worked at the last radio station we were at, I used to bike to work like I do now. But I was a little more hardcore, and I'd bike in the rain. And I always had a fresh change of clothes at work in case the rain intensified or I got caught and I needed to put on dry clothes.
Yeah,
but
but-
why wouldn't everyone have just like a little locker at work where they could keep a change of everything in case something like that happened?
It's always an outfit, though, that's not great. Like the backup outfit is something weird that you normally wouldn't wear.
It was jeans that didn't look good anymore.
Yeah.
It was a t-shirt I didn't care about. But still, better to have jeans you don't care about than jeans that are covered in human waste.
Oh
that you have to
God.
wear for the rest of your day.
Were you mad at your girlfriend at the time for letting you take those pills?
No, she told me straight. I was the idiot. I didn't believe her, right?
Yeah.
But did you tighten up at all?
Oh, I look good after. Yeah.
You look good? So there you go.
It was worth it.
Yeah,
me too. After the green tea. Woo! Man! I'm kidding. It was
Don't
terrible.
encourage that. Don't
It was
encourage that.
Terrible. My stomach was ripped apart for like at least 3 days after. Ripped up.
The stomach was ripped apart. She rode a Vespa to Toilet Town.
Shout out to Il Fornello. Great bathrooms.
Right? Shout out to Bundes and his music that I think we could really write some interesting songs to.
I'm looking forward to hearing what you come up with.
Yeah, thanks for checking out the latest podcast. We appreciate it. And leave a comment if you're listening and not watching it on YouTube. And keep in mind, it is also on YouTube now. You can leave a review as well, like a rating. I always appreciate that. And check us out weekday mornings on Energy 95.3 in the Toronto, Hamilton, Southern Ontario area, or online on the Radio Player Canadian app. Radio Player Canada, it's called. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.